I am trying so hard to sit in this chair and just be still and talk. I'm so happy and excited right now. Sup? Hey, during your writer's journey, there are going to be a lot of people who come along and get to walk the path with you. I want to talk about some real important ones, and they are your alpha, your betas, and your ARC readers. I want to get into a little about who they are, what they do, and why we need them as writers on our path to become authors. It is super important that our readers know what we expect from them and what their role is in our process. What you're going to need from an alpha will differ from what you need from your betas. Same with your ARC readers. It's going to be different, across the board. Those differences need to be clearly defined and clearly expressed at the beginning when you move into each stage. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Alpha readers. An alpha reader is that special person, usually just one person. Some people do have more than one. I only have one. I recommend one. And at the same time, whatever works for you, boo-boo, please do. He or she is the person who gets to read your manuscript in the very, very beginnings, like the raw material. Now, when you choose to share your manuscript with your alpha, certainly is up to you. Some people do it as they go. Hey, I got some more chapters done, check these out. Or passages, pages, however they roll with it. Whatever arrangement they made with their alpha is what they go with. I generally send chapters. So I write a chapter, I send the chapter. Other writers send their first draft is what goes to their alpha. It doesn't matter. It is totally up to you how you roll with that. A lot of people are kind of scared to share their initial stuff. I was terrified, actually, which is why I was real careful on who I chose. And my alpha is amazing. She is an alpha. Now, the purpose of your alpha is to pretty much read for story. They're the ones who are going to find the first little mistakes as far as the story goes. I'm not talking about grammar errors and typos and such. They're going to find them, because I doubt if your work is so pristine that you don't have any. But that is not their purpose. Their purpose is to find problems with the story itself. Your alpha has to know that this is all you're asking for. They have to fully understand and grasp that you do not want them to report back to you that on page 22 they spelled gender wrong. That is not why you're there. Tell me that gender shouldn't be on page 22. That's a little different. I like to say that your alpha gives you your good, your bad, and your ugly. Like, oh, I love this. This is working. Not feeling this. Or, girl, what was you thinking? A lot of times when you're writing your story, there are just going to be holes or blind spots that you don't realize are missing, that they will probably catch. Probably. Sometimes in the beginning stages, they may not catch it either, but if somebody else is going to catch it, it will be them, because they are not married to the story the same way you are. The reason why I say get one person instead of two or more, please don't get more than two. Please. Yes, I am now telling you what to do. Please don't do that. At this stage of your writing, you don't want a lot of voices in your head. You don't want a lot of people telling you what to do, what not to do. You do not want a lot of opinions. You're still trying to flesh the story out yourself. You just kind of want somebody to ride along with you. You know what I mean? That's your alpha. And you can't have mine. The takeaway for this is simple. Just have that person reading for story. Now, beta readers, you want plenty of beta readers. You want as many as you can get. We'll talk more about that shortly. You will be enlisting your beta readers when you have a more polished edit or version of your manuscript. One that you've taken as far as you can in rewrites and revisions and self-edits. One that you think is pretty good, but you don't want to run it to your editor just yet. That's the manuscript you want to get to your betas. Here is the point where you want a lot of eyes on your whip. Let it whip. A tip that I learned from the cyborg queen herself is once you have enlisted your beta readers, you want to dole out those chapters one chapter at a time. You don't want to give them the whole manuscript. Don't do that. One at a time, and then immediately query them after it is read. As soon as possible. You don't want them to read it and then it's out of their head for a while. You want to get them as soon as it's done. That has worked amazingly for me. Thank you, Jenna. Now, what your beta readers are going to do is give you feedback on specific questions that you want answered. Questions you will determine based on your particular needs at that time. I have to say that the most important part about this process is making sure that your betas know exactly what you want, because I promise you, you're going to get some crazy people. At least one. One of them is going to be a nut. That person is going to have you wondering, what book are they reading? And are they listening to the questions? I asked a couple simple questions on some of them. And one of the questions was, what a character that they didn't like. And her answer was Snotty McSnot Snot. I can assure you I do not have a character with that name. Clearly they are talking about a specific character, but that name could have been any one of them because it's a prep school full of rich kids. So yeah. And she was a harmless one because there were more. I got so distraught at one point that I actually had to hit Jenna up practically in tears, like, please help me. And she did, because she's amazing. Okay. And she just laid it out there like, they're not working out, drop their ass. And I'm okay. And I dropped her. Not the person who in the example. The person in the example, it really wasn't that bad, just that particular question. But yeah, I dropped somebody. Ooh. So don't waste your time. Don't let them waste your time, I should say. Okay? This is important. You're trying to get your book done, and you're trying to get it to the level to where you're going to be published. Don't let crazy people steal your time. You put way too much into making this book come true. No. Now, remember earlier when I said you need a lot of betas? You do. You need a lot of betas because the amount that you start off with will not be with what you end. I started with 21 betas. 21 people filled out the form, said they wanted to do it. 21 people got a chapter. And as we went along, I ended with 3. Actually, I did wind up with 4, but by the time the 4th person actually got around to finishing, I'd already moved into a different phase, so their information didn't even really get to count. So, but I just want to be clear. Started with 21, ended with 3. Had some people who made it, I think, to chapter 7. It was 21 chapters at the time. I had some people who only made it 3. Most only made it to 1. 3 made it to the end. And then the 4th straggler. So you may want 5 betas. Let's say 5 is what you really want to get 5 people's answers. Then ask 25 people, because that's the only way you're going to get the 5. Okay? Trust me. Trust me. One thing I did allow in this stage, though, which, is always a matter of choice. I did leave room for people to tell me if they found mistakes that were typos in grammar, but not so much like, oh, I found a typo on page 10. Not that. But if they found the same mistake being over and over again, like you keep spelling parcel wrong every time you write parcel is incorrect, then that's not a typo. That's me being a dummy. So I told them if they came across stuff that was consistently wrong, that was the same thing consistently wrong, then yeah. You know that you don't capitalize your words at the beginning of your sentences all the time, girl. I'm like, okay. Then yeah, tell me that. I don't do that, by the way. Computer won't let me do it anyway. It automatically capitalizes shit when you start off sentences, but that was my bad example, but I'm just saying. So if anybody is interested, I will share the link to my form that I had my betas fill out to apply, so to speak, to be a beta in the description box. So you can click it, check it out, see what I was, what I was up to. If you are also interested in seeing the actual questions and stuff that I use, hit me up. I'll send them to you. No problem. They're specific to the book, but I'm sure that anybody could tweak them for their own, or at least get an idea for what you may want to ask. So yeah, I'll do that. I'm in a giving mood. It's the holidays. So now we get to the ARC readers, the ARC readers. ARC stands for Advanced Reader Copy. The purpose of your ARC is simple and plain. They receive an advanced reader copy of the book. All they have to do is read the book and then give a review. The version of your manuscript that the ARC gets is the version that, as far as you are concerned, is ready to be published. You have gone through all the other phases. You've done everything that you can do with it. You've done self-edits, you've done revisions, and you've had a professional edit. I hope I stressed that enough. Professional edit. Get it, edit it. Don't rely solely on just your edit. Please. Your ARC should be what you feel is ready to go to the world. This is one of the things that I'm so excited about now, because I am finally fast approaching that stage. I got my edit back. I'm making my revisions based on what my editor said. Oh my God. Whew. Please get your work edited. And that's going back to him shortly. And I'm going to be looking for my ARC readers. And speaking of, if you would like to be an ARC reader, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. If you want to be an ARC reader for Shattered, my book, I will leave a link below for you to click the form and, sign up. I'm not doing a lot of them. So if you're truly, truly, sincerely interested, please hit me up fast. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I want to pinch myself, but I don't want to pinch myself. I've dreamed of myself being pinched plenty of times. It hurts just as much as when I'm dreaming. So I'm just going to say no to that. Also, if you want to be a part of my street team, who am I? If you want to be a part of my street team, there's an option on the ARC form to, opt in if you want to do that as well. So please check it out. Please consider. Please talk to me. There's so much more to come, guys, but I'm going to stop here and I'll update you as I go, okay? So,
yeah.
Until then,
it's our time to shine.
You know what to do.
That's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts, cause I'm too lost. Off the speakers can't even handle me. Give it what I got, nobody's gonna drain my energy.